Flight Risk, directed by Mel Gibson, follows a U.S. Marshal, played by Michelle Dockery, as she has to transport a criminal, played by Topher Grace, out of a remote Alaskan town. But things quickly go wrong when a pilot, played by Mark Wahlberg, is not who he says to be. This is only the third release I've gotten to check out in the new year, and I don't know why I had any expectations for it or any hope. I expected a stupid action movie on a plane with some good talent attached. I saw Mel Gibson directing and Mark Wahlberg starring in it. I thought it was going to be a decent time. Didn't expect it to be award-winning, but I thought I would enjoy it. Then the movie opens either with a CGI snow cabin or an AI-generated snow cabin. Either way, that immediately set the tone for how bad this movie was going to be, and what followed was 90 minutes of horrible dialogue and a story that felt thrown together by a novice screenwriter. And that's exactly what happened. This is a story thrown together by a novice screenwriter. I hate to be rude to Jared Rosenberg, who wrote the screenplay, but I don't know how he got this talent attached to his movie. And somehow he got this amazing talent to pick up a script and direct it. You have Mel Gibson coming off of directing a Oscar award-winning film 8 years ago in Hacksaw Ridge, and following it up with this mess of a movie. So now getting into our main three actors, it's always nice seeing Topher Grace in a movie. I grew up watching the Raimi trilogy, so to me, he will always be Eddie Brock. No matter what you think about Spider-Man 3, my nostalgia for it really gets in the way, so it's always nice seeing him, but I think he gives a really bad performance here. I think it's mostly the writing's fault, but at the end of the day, I do have to blame the actor somewhat, even though he was given almost nothing to work with. They try to give his character some funny moments that almost felt like Marvel quips, but the writing has way less charm than a Marvel movie. His character in general is really annoying, and I think Topher Grace gave the worst performance out of our trio on the plane. The star of the film, Michelle Dockery, gives a decent enough performance, but once again, the writers do her no favors, and she is often acting opposite of a phone call. One of the biggest problems I have with this movie is that all of the plot is advanced through dialogue with off-screen characters over the phone. The exposition and what you can call, I guess, a forced romance that absolutely does not work and really drags the movie down, quite frankly, is all happening over the phone. It's either that Gibson and the writer were too lazy to include cutting away to an office building, or they were too dumb to create a compelling narrative that isn't just a podcast. I should not be able to close my eyes the entire runtime and fully understand the plot. The movie refuses to show and opts to just tell, and it makes for a boring ride all the way through. The biggest name attached to the movie is Mark Wahlberg, who is entertaining enough in the fight scenes, but again, the writing gives him absolutely nothing. Any stakes or emotional moments are predictable in one note. The most interesting part of this movie is that Mark Wahlberg shaved his head and left the sides long. That novelty lasts 5 seconds, and then you remember how bad of a movie you are actually watching. The script really feels like this was the first draft, and then they went straight into making the movie, and then the end product makes it feel like a direct-to-video streaming movie. Mel Gibson absolutely refuses to add anything intriguing visually into the film to even make it worth watching. Flight Risk is a horribly written action movie with a gimmick of entirely taking place on a plane. It's extremely predictable and gives you no reason to go out and watch it, mixed in with bland and one-note performances. Flight Risk is the first one-star movie of 2025. And there you have it. Those are my thoughts on Flight Risk. I'd love to know in the comment section below what you guys thought of this movie. Is there anyone out there that did enjoy it? This has about a 20% on Rotten Tomatoes, so I'm sure someone got some enjoyment out of this movie, but let me know down in the comment section below what you guys thought. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.